And welcome in, boys and girls, to Varsity Viewpoint. He's Scott Vency, I'm Ange Pekarik. And really, Scott, after the first 2 weeks of doing this, how about less of us, more of you? So we're going to go right to the tweets. And first up is the Superior football coach, Chad Michaelwitz, who after his team last week beat Pulaski with a 30-27 win on a last-second field goal by Chris Van Straten. He tweeted, "The greatest free agent transaction in the history of high school football. Go Birds." And then he tweeted very cleverly a picture of the CVS pharmacy because Chris Van Straten's initials, CVS. What do you think about that?
I think, first of all, that it was a huge win in that CVS, your boy CVS, came through in the clutch. Not that experienced, obviously, having played football. The kid has ice in his veins. Possibly was the key in helping DePere get to the playoffs for the third straight year. You got to like the way Michaelwitz has his guys playing. He knows that there's going to be a tough stretch here at the end of the season with teams like Preble and Southwest and Manitowoc, I believe. So getting these wins now, including the one coming up this week, is very vital if they want to make the postseason, AP.
You mentioned DePere as a one-loss team, and also Green Bay Southwest. They won over Sheboygan North last week for their homecoming. Green Bay Southwest offensive lineman Max Sharpen, he tweets, "Well, I got TP'd, but whoever it was did a really bad job." Not so much good for homecoming. You really got to cover the trees and everything when you go about getting your roll on.
I got TP'd once, but I caught the people in the act. This was back when I was in high school. I took a baseball bat, true story, without any shoes or anything, ran down the street trying to catch them. I thought that was great. It kind of showed off my 4.3 speed. Never did actually catch the guy. But anyways, Southwest doing pretty good. They've rebounded since that loss to Ashwaubenon a couple weeks ago with 2 straight wins. Now they've got an interesting matchup at Green Bay Notre Dame this week. Notre Dame, I think, is much improved from last season. They're back, probably going to the playoffs as well. Chad Lehman at quarterback for the Trojans has kind of added, I think, AP, another dimension to this offense. They were really kind of a running team under Bryce Popp, the former coach, and now a little bit more balanced. I know that you've kind of seen that yourself. What's your take on Southwest Notre Dame this week, buddy?
I think it could be a very defensive-minded matchup, even though both offenses have shown explosion. I got to apologize because Southwest beat Sheboygan South last week. I got my Sheboygans mixed up, and it was Notre Dame that topped Sheboygan North.
Sure.
And Notre Dame quarterback Charlie Rotherham tweeted, "Thank you to all the fans out there on both sides. Great crowds, great atmosphere tonight. We will get them next week." So Charlie Rotherham also ready looking to that Southwest battle this Friday night. What do you think of that matchup?
Yeah, I think you've got to give Southwest the edge, but I still say I was really impressed with the way Notre Dame played Bayport a couple of weeks ago, even though they lost 21-7. I thought there was a lot of progress there. The defense did well. And I think you got to like Rotherham at quarterback for Notre Dame, your boy Isaac Searing at running back. They definitely have some offensive weapons that Southwest is going to have to try to stop, AP.
Now, Scott, we're a couple weeks away from Bayport and Ashwaubenon, the 2 unbeatens left in the Fox River Classic Conference squaring off. But hey, Twitterverse was pretty active this past week for Bayport. Junior quarterback Alec Incold, don't call him Alex, it's Alec, by the way. "I have officially decided I'm growing a fro." We had Peyton Armstrong last year for Bayport. He had the flat top. What do you think about Alec Ingold going with the fro?
You know, I hate to comment on kids and their haircuts. I think it's kind of a personal decision, but I don't think that dude's going to look real good with a fro. But I've actually told him I actually think he's pretty ugly anyway. So whether you have a fro, whether you have a shaved head, you can't change ugly.
Regardless, Alec Ingold, he can cut up defenses on the field, so he's looking pretty good. And one of his tight ends and a senior, Nick Sellison, "Is it just me or did Scott Vency cut his flow off? #disappointing."
Yeah, that was a tragic decision, not because I decided to get a haircut, AP, but it was what I decided to get cut. I was going for kind of a sort of a movie picture that I'd seen coming out, Don John coming out. People can Google that. It didn't work out, AP. Now I'm left with this. I'm devastated. I'm embarrassed. I wanted to wear a hat to this thing today, but Kyle Bursaw, our kind of production guy, said, no, there's no wearing hats. So this is what you're stuck with.
All right. He is Scott Vency. I'm Ange Pekarik. And if you want to be part of Varsity Viewpoint, hashtag your tweets with #Varsity Viewpoint. I think you can spell it out, folks. But that's it for this week's show. Hope to see you out at a game this week.